times, and every time you hear it, you're like, I'm not gonna bump to this song, but then you start catching a vibe. I'm sorry, not sorry.
Time to make sick gains. Popping off today, fam. Popping off, making them gains. Making sick gains. Daddy is in the house. It's the Papa Swole show, y'all. Y'all.
East Coast with that gang gang. You know we don't play games. Well, hop up on that wagon. Oh, please just get out the way. You know we stay stuntin', right up in your face. We sorry, not sorry. We just stuck up in our ways. West Coast, go ahead, stand up. Put that glass and hands up. Gang.
Yeah. What up, Bushes? What up, I learned my German. Meine Bishes. What up, meine Bishes? Meine Bush. Ash, what up? Holly, Hara for Adara. What up, Bishes? My peeps. Yeah. All right, everyone's coming in. Make sure you like and share the broadcast. We're talking nutrition.
Watch me finesse, walk to the line. Good versus evil, God in his prime. Always in prime, always on time. Our time to shine.
I'm getting slow.
I'm doing fine, glad that you asked. God fill me up, mud in my glass. God clean me up.
My main beaches.
You headed.
You're one of my main beaches, Mike.
You are in last on the check. You are all gas in the whip.
Whip it up fast.
Fast and all furious. I'm
making some gains.
Getting all curious, you put me on blast. Blasting that Darius, kids in the back. Back to the future is black.
Hashtag sick fucking gains. You know what we just with the gang. Let's get this fucking show on the road, shall we? Let's do it. 970 thus. What up, Octavio? Raymond? Tara? ¿Qué pasó, man? ¿Qué pasó, peoples? What up? Hola. Willkommen, peeps, willkommen. Ooh, hello, haha. Let's do it. Finish all the bullshit.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing. Test. Testing. Come on now. Testing. Test Ickles. Ooh, welcome everyone to episode 970 dose of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beardcast, broadcast, gaincast, mancast, pimpcast, sleazecast, and slaycast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. What is going on, my peoples? Hello, and hello. What is up? What's going on, IG? What up, Facebook? What up, Periscope, YouTube, Twitch? Everywhere that you catch the sick fucking gains, the SFGs. The SFGs. What up, Princess Belle? What's going on? Let's see what's on Facebook. Aaron, Casey, what up? Jewish Blues. The Jew Blues. What up? Instagram. Hello. Oh, I love all of you. I hope you're having a lot of caffeine today. I hope you're enjoying your gains. I hope you made sick fucking gains. I hope you're listening to the Swolenormous audio experience and you listened to Working Out First Thing in the Morning, that podcast, and now you're working out first thing in the morning. You're making gains first thing in the day and you feel amazing. I hope you feel amazing. I hope you do. I'm really excited for you. And I hope that thou hast, I don't know. I forget my old English, but I hope you're making sick gains and I hope your year is going fantastic. So I'm looping the video again, of course, on Facebook, the stream. I'm looping some of the exercise demos. Just posted another one on Instagram and Facebook, and that's part of this loop, the Glute Ham ISO extension. So if you haven't checked that out, please go check that out. Drop a comment if you like it. It's very advanced. And I don't think I mentioned it in the context or in the copy below, but you don't need to use that wooden dowel. You can use your hands, like put your hands here in case you fall on your face. You can put your hands by the side of your head. You can cross your arms. You don't need that dowel. That adds an entire new aspect of fuck, this hurts. So that's a whole nother level. You don't need to have the dowel, the wooden dowel. So that's not necessary. You don't need that. Okay. So you can really focus more on the glutes and stuff if you don't use that. And I would recommend that you don't use that at the start, especially when you try it for the first time. It's very advanced. It's very hard. It's very challenging, but it's good for the booty. It's good for the booty. And I am stoked today. I'm really excited to do this podcast. I'm really excited to finish the podcast. I'm excited for today. I woke up really lit. I woke up really excited. A lot of things I want to do, a lot of videos and content shift. I just have a lot of stuff on my mind in a good way. A lot of stuff I'm going to try to crush and lay some cock down inside Swolenormous X. Just got your swole on. What'd you pump today, everyone? What'd you pump? If you pumped, what dost thou pumpeth? What did you pump today? Today's episode 972 is nutrition game plan. I have on the board behind me clean house. We are going to clean house. This is the time of year to clean house, and what I talk about a lot when it comes to nutrition is cleaning house, and that clean house is the elimination diet, the elimination process. And I want to specify and get into it because a lot of people always ask me, and I always tell them, and I have some nutrition trainings floating around online. A bunch of you have registered for my Stop Counting Calories training, my new one. It's very short and to the point. If you're curious about that, you can send me a message and I'll hook you up with that. And I'm putting a lot more trainings and nutrition content, and it's very simple approach. And really what I want to get across is that you're, just try reloading again, Dana. Is the sound weird? Is the sound weird for anyone? What does that mean, weird? How's everyone sounding? Instagram you sound fine. Let me know how the sound, on the stream, if the sound is okay on your end. Anyway, so that being said, what was I talking about? Your approach. Let's start from scratch. Your approach with nutrition is the most important thing. That's the setup. That's the setup. That's the fundamental game plan. That's the fundamental mindset. And everyone's always concerned with, what should I be eating? What should I be eating? What should I do? What should I be eating? Papa Swolio, the bearded fucking freak of nature, what should I be putting in my face hole? Well, first off, you should not be putting dirty dicks. If you follow me on Instagram and Facebook, you know that I am not a fan of dirty dicks. I personally don't want any dicks in my mouth. And I'm sure a lot of you, especially most of the dudes, don't want dicks in their mouth. But I don't think anyone, even ladies, you don't want a dirty dick. I'm sure. And junk food is essentially a dirty dick. And you wouldn't put a dirty dick in your mouth. I don't recommend it. I have no experience, but I'm sure a clean dick is superior to a dirty dick. I would just assume that. And that is the same thing with your nutrition. You shouldn't be putting anything that doesn't belong in your mouth in. So what I want you to do is reverse this. Change your approach and your mindset rather than, Papa Swolio, what am I eating? To, what can I eliminate? What can I cut out? What can I get rid of? And that's the right mindset. It's more about what you don't eat and what you are not eating, what you are avoiding, rather than what you are eating. Now, this is not a negative approach. This is not a pessimistic approach. This is not a glass is half empty approach. This is how you should start. Of course, moving forward, once you reset, you focus on the foods that you should be eating and you get rid of your cravings. You don't have those things. You don't have those desires for bad food. You eliminate them by doing this process, ironically called elimination. And when you are focusing on what you're getting rid of, because most of the shit that you're eating is crap. Okay. Most of the things that you're eating is garbage, and those things have to be eradicated. Animal products that are fed grains. We're talking about, the shitty eggs, grain-fed beef, antibiotic pumped animal products, really sprayed and pesticide-ridden vegetables and produce, boxed foods, preserved, pasteurized and, altered high sugar, garbage and inflammatory dairy products, wheat and gluten, sugary foods, simple carbohydrates, sodas, candy, white breads, all these processed things that are in the middle aisles, right? You've probably heard shop around the outsides. You should be at the rim of the supermarket. You should be giving the supermarket a rim job, essentially, right? You should be around the edges. However, what's interesting about the elimination, what's interesting about nutrition, and a lot of you, and I always call on the Swolenormous X family because I love for all of you to hear firsthand from people that are doing it. So let me pause for a second. Those of you, and I'll get back to the supermarket rim job, those of you in Swolenormous X, it doesn't even matter if you're in Swolenormous X, those of you that have done an elimination, those of you that have done an elimination, those of you that have done elimination, what have you eliminated and what were the benefits? Like, how do you feel? What happened after elimination? I know a bunch of you that are watching now, you've put this in the comments before, but do it again, because every time we watch, every time we're here, there are new people coming in, and I want to show them that this is real. I'm not just talking and saying, oh, cut this thing out, but I love that, but I love this. I want people to see what the effects of the food, the quality, not the quantity, not the fucking macros bullshit. Oh, that's a question. If it fits your macro, says nothing is bad as long as you're in a deficit. That's the biggest crock of bullshit in history. Okay, that's the biggest fucking scam on earth, is that nothing is bad as long as you're in a deficit and as long as you're within your macros. That's absolute fucking horse shit. That is the biggest load of fucking horse shit, and that is what's killing people. You've been hearing 2,000 calories, eat this, don't eat too much of that. It doesn't work that way. Obviously, people are dying at an alarming rate and everyone's sick and fucking miserable and fat. So it doesn't work. If that's not proof enough, it's just not the right approach. So going back to the supermarket rim job, we talked about, eat the real food, okay? Things that don't have ingredients. You have fruit, you have vegetables. But what's shocking to you around the outside, because you still have dairy products, you still have processed meats, you still have all those things around the outside in the refrigerated section. And in the frozen section, you have a lot of crap. You have a lot of stuff that's disguised, or a wolf in sheep's clothing. You have a lot of foods that will guise themselves as health foods, right? They will advertise low in calories or gluten-free, but they have other elements that are inflammatory to the body. And what's really scary about inflammatory foods and inflammation is that everyone is aware of allergic reactions. How many of you have an allergy? You might be allergic to peanut butter. You might be allergic to bees. You might be allergic to who the fuck knows. You get a rash. You get an instant reaction, okay? One of the issues with inflammation is that a lot of it is low-level inflammation that's constant that you don't notice. Just because you're eating something and you don't have like a glaring wart popping out of your fucking elbow doesn't mean that it's not damaging your body, because chronic low levels of inflammation is what leads to early death. It's what leads to cancers. It's what leads to heart disease. It's what leads to all these things. It's that chronic low level inflammation. It's that chronic exposure to these problems over and over and over and over again. And it flies under the fucking radar. It flies under the radar. It flies under the radar. You don't notice it. You don't notice it because it's just not, blasting the signals. Plus, you're masking it with all these other things that you're eating. So you're having major inflammation and you're also having this minor inflammation. So you might cut out, let's say, dairy. And oh my God, I feel so much better. But you're still consuming beans. You're still consuming gluten. And those are causing lower levels of inflammation. And one of the biggest oversights is this whole celiacs thing. Well, if you don't have celiacs, you can still eat wheat and gluten. But you can still have gluten sensitivity and you don't have full-blown celiacs, but you have major issues and be sensitive to gluten. And you should not be eating that shit. You shouldn't be eating processed carbohydrates. You shouldn't be eating all these grains. You shouldn't be sucking this stuff down. It's not for humans. Anyone that's cutting this stuff out sees amazing results. Literally, your first step should be cutting out dairy and cutting out wheat and gluten, and you will see amazing changes in your body and how you feel. You might have some of those withdrawal symptoms. You might have some of those initial shifting over, but you've been eating these things for years and years. It's going to take weeks and months for your body to repair and to rebalance the hormones. So that brings me to the next point, is that a lot of the health food, and I kind of mentioned this already, a lot of the health food is not healthy. Just because it's natural, just because it's a real food doesn't mean you should be eating it. And everyone is going to be different. Some people are violently allergic to peanut butter. Some people can eat a jar and not notice necessarily anything immediately. But you have to be cutting these things out that are commonly allergenic, that are commonly inflammatory, so you can test them. You have to reset. You have to, with your own life, you have to get in, you have to dig in and figure this shit out for yourself. You can't just follow some random fucking diet. You can't just follow some random program, some random thing, and not approach your fitness like this. There are all these fad diets out there, okay? There's the keto, there's vegan, there's all this stuff that's extremely fad oriented, right? People just jump on it because they want to lose weight. Newsflash, being a vegan is not a weight loss diet. Doing keto is not a weight loss diet. You are eliminating major fucking food groups, and that can be extremely detrimental to people. And another sneaky aspect of these diets is you might not notice anything for a couple years. And then all of a sudden things hit the fucking tank and your body really bonks out from missing major vitamin sources. Your body can be very, very resilient, even in the absence of some of these major vitamins and minerals. So you can't jump on these trains blindly. You know, what a lot of people do is, and I've been hearing a lot of stuff, because right now it's New Year's, right? It's the brand new year. Everyone wants to lose weight. Everyone wants to. Hold on. Fucking stream. Yeah. All right. So I'll just put my hand up. I don't know. Yeah, I know Instagram's fine because you're not in the same loop. I hate when that happens. So weird. So weird. Yeah, I thought I turned that off. I kind of want to look and see if I thought I turned off that whole Twitch thing. That's weird. If it happens again, that should not have happened. That hasn't happened in a long time. They must have updated something. The server must have updated something in it when someone follows me or something. Yeah, it's weird. If it happens again, I'll just turn off the Twitch stream. No, Facebook's fine. I just explained it. All right, I love how everyone's like, I was late. All right, I took care of it already. It's cool. It's cool. But I appreciate it. No, Facebook doesn't always have problems. Doesn't always have problems. All right, we're back. So where was I? Someone remind me. What were we talking about? Talking about keto, eating tons of vegetables. So anyway, people often do things wrong, right? We just go and follow. So the purpose of this is to change your mentality and your approach to your nutrition. It's about eliminating stuff. Now, when I talk about the elimination diet and the elimination process, yes, you have to cut out as much as you can. So I get people that freak out. I have to cut out all these things. Yes and no. The more you cut out, the better your test will be. The more you cut out, the more accurate your test will be. If you cut out one food, but you're still eating 10 other ones that are fucking your body up, you're not necessarily going to notice a decrease in inflammation. You're not necessarily going to notice less problems or less pain or less bloating because you're still eating 7 other things that are bloating you. So the more that you can cut out, the more that you can eliminate from the start and then reinstitute. It's a test. You're testing. You're a scientific experiment. You have to test your body. So the more you can get rid of, the more you can test by bringing back. So the major things that you want to cut out are, for example, you want to cut out gluten and wheat. You want to cut out dairy, all soy. Some people are very allergic to eggs, so it's a good idea to get rid of those. If you are going to continue eating eggs, you should be eating pastured eggs, the highest quality. Some people have issues with beef, for example, or chicken. You should be getting 100% grass-fed beef if you're going to continue eating them, or wild game, or fish, wild fish. So you have to make better choices. Bottom line, you need to cut out all the things that are causing this world and the majority of people problems, okay? A lot of things can cause people's problems with vegetables. For example, nightshades, tomatoes, I think white potatoes, eggplant, and those types of things. The skin and the seeds can cause issues. Legumes, beans can cause problems for a lot of people because of the lectin content. So a lot of that should be something that you cut out as well in order to test. Remember, you're testing. You're testing these things. You're getting rid of them, seeing how you feel for a month or two, and then you're implementing them back one at a time to see your body's reaction. So one other thing that most people don't know is that peanuts are a legume. They're not a nut, it's a legume. And most people have issues and intolerances and poor reactions to peanut butter. So if you want to eat something like that, you should switch to almond butter. And this is like, these are fundamental things that you should be cutting out. Getting rid of corn, soy, dairy, gluten, grains. This is not fad type stuff. These are major food groups that have been tainted and poisoned, genetically modified shit that replicates inside the human body. This is stuff that fucks people up. Okay? You don't believe me? Go outside in public anywhere and look around. You want to see how fucked up this country is? Go to Walmart anywhere in the world. Go to a supermarket and just look at everyone's gut hanging over their belt. Men look pregnant. Women just are fucking huge. Just everyone's fat. Kids are fat. Childhood diabetes. Do you remember? It used to be adult onset diabetes. Type 2 diabetes was also called adult onset. I don't know if you knew this, but when I was learning, when I was in education, it was called adult onset diabetes, aka type 2 diabetes, because kids didn't get type 2 diabetes. That's insulin resistance. That's when your body essentially gets so fucking hammered with insulin all the time. Your body releases insulin when there's carbohydrates, when there's sugar present in the blood. Your body releases so much insulin from the pancreas all the time because there's always absorbed sugar. You're eating so much shit that your body eventually just says, literally, fuck you, insulin. I'm tired of your shit. It's like an annoying person that you can't get rid of. It's like, fuck this. And your body shuts down and ignores insulin. Then all of a sudden you have all this blood sugar in the system and your body doesn't get rid of it, doesn't absorb it. So the insulin has nowhere to take it because the body's ignoring insulin. Your body shuts down. That is a major problem. It's called type 2 diabetes. Type 1 diabetes is when your body's not producing insulin. You have to do shots and stuff like that. So that's a whole different thing. You're born a certain way. You're born as a result. And we're finding out that a lot of sometimes these issues, like type 1 issues that kids are born with, are from the parents or from the grandparents. You know, these things are passed down from epigenetics and things that are activated during what you're exposed to, because your body stores things in fat storage. Your body accumulates a lot of toxins from the environment. And 200 years ago, there weren't as many toxins. Okay. Now we have tons of toxins. So it's what you're eating. It's also what you're putting on your body and what you're surrounding yourself with. Colognes, deodorants, fragrances, Febreze, carpet cleaners, mattresses, soaps, shampoos. All these things are fucking ridden with chemicals that interrupt your hormones. It interrupts your body's communication with itself. And this is why people have thyroid issues. It's one of the reasons why people that can restrict calories, eat better diets, go exercise, and they can't lose weight is because their body is disrupted. And this can take months and sometimes years to fix. So when people start changing and making these habitual changes, they don't have fucking patience. People don't have fucking patience. So when you, let's say, okay, I'm overweight, I'm eating all this crap, I'm putting all these things on, I am going to change my life. You change all these things, it still might take months or maybe a year or two to really fix all this disruption from all this time. People don't have patience. They try it for a couple weeks. Oh, it's not working. I'm not losing weight. It's because you haven't even done this for a short period of time. You have to give it a fucking chance. You have to put effort in and you have to really start making moves. It's a lot more than just, that's why I get so pissed off. That's why I get so pissed off when people start throwing around calories. It's a caloric deficit. Fuck you and your caloric deficit. It is number one, what foods you're eating. Number one, 100%. 100% what you are eating. What you are eating. Fuck your calories. Fuck your macro ratios. It's what those foods are. It doesn't matter. That stuff doesn't matter. Intermittent fasting, you fast every fucking day whenever you're not eating. When you're sleeping, you're fasting, okay? Whether you want to eat in the morning or the evening, whatever. That doesn't matter if you're eating shit. Intermittent fasting doesn't fucking matter if you're eating garbage. I don't care if it fits your macros. I don't care if it's under the caloric requirement for you. Yes, calories exist and they're important, but it's not the be-all, end-all. You need to be approaching your fitness from the right aspects, from the right angle. You need the right approach. That's it. You need to figure out what foods your body reacts best to. You have to cut out the shit. It's what you are cutting out. It's what you are eliminating. It's what you're fucking eliminating. That's it. End of fucking story. End of story. What you're eating. Stop throwing around keto like you think you know what you're talking about. Stop throwing around vegan. Stop throwing around paleo. And I'm not saying any of these things are wrong or bad or don't work. The reason why people can see results when they go vegan, when they go keto, when they do paleo, it's because these diets generally cut out all the shit, or a lot of the shit that you should be cutting out to begin with. Okay? You shouldn't be eating on keto. You're cutting out pretty much all net carbohydrates, which are the breads, right? Which are the pastas, which are the sodas, which are all the candy. So you're cutting that out. Paleo, that's not paleo. You got to cut that. So you're cutting out a lot of the similar foods that you should be cutting out anyway. So people see initial results and then they flatline because they're not taking care of what they're putting on their body, what they're putting on their home. They're not hydrating enough. They're not working on their stress management. They're not exercising properly. They're not patient enough. All these different aspects. And now the science is getting better. The science is getting better. We're learning more and more about gut bacteria and how that causes heart disease and causes issues and causes dementia and tumors and fucking bipolar and depression. Food, your gut bacteria, right? Your gut-brain axis, your communication from your gut bacteria to your brain and what's crossing the blood-brain barrier and all these different things. The science is getting better. So whenever, ever someone fucking refers to a study that was done in the 50s or the 60s, yo, fuck your fucking studies. Do you trust anything that happened in the 50s or 60s? They barely had TV then. Think about all the technology we have now. Now is like the beginning. So for anyone to say that they know what the fuck the answer is, they're lying. They're just out of their fucking mind, idiotic. Science is just breaking into nutrition. Just. How recent is this conversation? How recent is this topic? How recent is all this information? We were still talking about the food pyramid like 15 fucking years ago. This is just getting more and more mainstream, and people are still getting fatter and still getting sicker because it's not mainstream enough. When you have 2/3 pretty much of the population that are fucking sick, have heart disease, cancer, diabetes, overweight, you think it's working? You think it's mainstream yet? You might hear about it now if you're looking for it. If you're aware of this, you're watching me, you're listening to other podcasts, you're looking at other blogs and posts. So you might think it's more mainstream than it is, but people are sicker more than ever. So how much is it really mainstream? It's not, because these big food corporations are making tons of money, because the pharmaceutical industry makes a ton of money on keeping people sick. It's this cycle, and everyone still believes what their fucking doctor says. They don't know jack shit. They're not taught nutrition. They're doing improper blood work and things that don't fucking matter. And they're finding more and more. You have to take your health into your own hands is what I'm saying. You have to take your own initiative to take your health into your own hands. You have to be diligent, and you have to be inspired, and you have to give a fuck. You can't wait for someone else to care. Your doctor doesn't care about your fucking health. You'd like to think so. And the reason why I'm saying that is not to say that doctors are mean and they don't want you to be well, but they can't take care of you. The way the system is, they can't take care of you. They don't have time, and they don't have the resources and the framework. They might want to. They might have gotten into the profession because they wanted to help people. But then as they became part of the system and the fucking machine, they lost sight of it. And in order to stay afloat, they had to fucking fund the money mill and keep on pushing pills. That's why functional medicine is rearing and coming up huge, which is the future of what medicine should be, and proper real wellness, functional medicine. That's the future. Integrative medicine. That's what it should be. But the thing is, no one's going to give a fuck about your nutrition and your health more than you. No one will, and no one should. You have to be the first and last line of defense when it comes to your health. If you break a bone, you go to the hospital and they'll fucking set your leg and put a cast on. That makes sense. You need surgery, you need something, you go to someone that knows how to cut and close you up and do the things, right? You know how to, you get into an accident, you have something that happens bad, they can put your arm back in. That's what medicine is. That's like the catastrophic, right? But for the day-to-day, oh, my blood pressure's high. That shouldn't be your fucking doctor. That's why medical bills and insurance is so sky high, because You shouldn't be going to your doctor for high blood pressure. You should be going to a health coach or a nutrition expert that actually knows how to fucking integrate this into your life, and you eat better and you exercise and it'll go down. Amazing. If you eat the right food and take care of your body, meditate and take care of your mental health and hydrate and all these things, you don't need medication. Not to mention, a lot of these medications actually make the fucking symptoms worse. They make the actual problem worse. Bottom line, this is about, I think, the fundamental aspect of all this. I can sit here and talk about elimination. 99% of you aren't going to do a damn thing. You're still going to eat the same fucking foods. You're not going to care. You're not going to do elimination because there's so much temptation, right? You just don't give it. I think the problem is not whether or not I say it enough, because I keep talking, eat real fucking food, do an elimination, figure this shit out. If you're going to eat meat, make sure it's 100% grass-fed. Fuck the antibiotics. Fuck all these goddamn cookies and all this bullshit. You need to fundamentally give a shit about your health. And you have to understand. Yeah, it's about taking care of yourself. If you don't care, no one will, and you're going to be fucking sick and dead. I think that's really the issue, is that people either don't understand that they need to take care of your health. It's kind of scary all at first. I don't go to my doctor to take care of my health. I have to do it myself. That's the way it fucking should be. You think some dude in a lab or some dude in a fucking doctor's office a couple cities over, and you go to see him or her, that they're going to give a fuck about you? Really? They're going to try to. They're going to give you something. You come in, you're like, oh, I have a headache or I have pain. They're going to refer you to someone else or give you some ibuprofen, some Motrin 800, some bullshit. You need to take proactive fucking care of your health. That's ground level, basic, common fucking sense. I don't understand why this is so hard to bring to people's attention, that you are the first and last line of defense of your health. You want to get blood work done? You can go to a place that does blood testing and get what you need to get tested specifically. And you can look at those fucking results yourself and Google it. And you can look up, oh, this is the range. Like, they go off a fucking range. They go off a range, right? They're like, oh, you're within this range, you're healthy. Maybe you're on the cusp, you're in the range, so you're okay, but you might be really fucking unhealthy, but because you're in the range, they don't do anything, or they don't even tell you, or they pass it off as, oh, it'll be fine. It's like factory farming, right? The medical system is like factory farming. It's factory medicine. And it's not designed to get you better. Food. What was it? Socrates? Was it Socrates? Food is thy medicine. Food. Food is your medicine. And the interesting thing is, it's your medicine before you get sick. The time to take care of your health and to get better is before you have diabetes, is before you get sick. People get sick and go to the doctor. That's the fundamental improper mindset. That's the problem. You get sick, oh shit, something's wrong, and then you go to your doctor. By then, you're already fucked, right? You have a problem, and it might not be reversible. You need to take care of this before it happens. Why do you think I keep on smashing you guys with my knowledge cock about yoga and mobility? You need to do this shit before you get hurt. You do this shit to get better before you get worse. You're going to get hurt. You're going to be stiff. You're going to be immobile. It's going to happen eventually. Maybe not. Okay, someone somewhere doesn't get hurt. But when the stats show that 90% of people have lower back pain at least once in their life, and most people have chronic back pain or chronic spasms or sciatic issues, you need to start doing this shit before that happens. Don't wait to get hurt to take care of your mobility. That's stupid as shit. What do you think yoga and mobility is? It's physical therapy before you have an injury. It's pre-rehabilitation. You're taking care of your joints and your stabilizers and all those posterior chain exercise, all that stuff, right? The stuff you see that I do right in the corner right now of the stream. You'll see the single leg and all that. That's stuff that you'll do single leg and balance stuff. Where do you think this stuff got popular from? Where do you think the Bosu ball came from? Where do you think the Airex pad, the little stabilization balls, where do you think the bands came from? TheraBands. You think that's because CrossFit got popular? No, it's because that was used in therapy for years. Like, this is now mainstream, all this foam rolling and all this stuff. Who do you think came up with that? Physical therapists. Who do you think, like, that's getting popular now And all of a sudden you think, oh, that's like the latest thing. That's the latest thing. It's like how everyone raves about kettlebells, as if it's a new fucking thing. Kettlebells are like 150 fucking years old. I'm probably exaggerating. I don't know the history of kettlebells, but it's ancient, in comparison, right? Physical therapy has been doing all this stabilization, all this rehab shit for decades before it got mainstream. And now everyone's foam rolling and there's rumble rollers and bands and all this stuff. And yeah, there's a lot more gear now because it got more popular. It's more mainstream and it's good. I'm not complaining about it. It's totally awesome. Like fucking awesome. And I'm not saying this in a bad way. I'm not like raging like, oh, it's, you shouldn't be. No, you should absolutely be doing it. I'm just saying it's not like it's new. Where did it come from? It came from doing this stuff after you got fucking hurt. Where do you think massage came from? Foam rolling is just doing a massage yourself before you get hurt and can't do it yourself and someone else has to go in and do it for you. That's all it is. That's all it is. Okay? You're preventing the injury. You're preventing it by giving your body mobility, by loosening and allowing your body to move in different ways and the optimal way, strengthening all your muscles. So nothing, it's not new. It's not new. All right. And what I'm saying, and I'm going to keep on saying it over and over again, because I know new people are hearing this all the time. Going to keep on fucking raging. Those of you, just a reminder, before we sign off here, you can post some questions. I'm seeing a lot of comments here, but those of you that are in Swolenormous X, I posted a brand new Swole in 7 yesterday. So you have 3 rounds in there now, and I'm going to be doing another one today. I'm going to be adding another one today. Those of you that are not in Swolenormous X, Swole in 7 is my brand new 7-minute mobility series. So you have 7-minute mobility workouts that you can do one after the other. You could do 14 minutes, 21 minutes, 28 minutes. You could do as much mobility as you want, in addition to all the yoga classes and the programs and stuff. So those of you that are in X, brand new round 3. And that's really been good for a cool down. I know a lot of people have been saying they've been using it for their cool down, for their warm up, but also that's what I do during the day because I'm sitting here. I actually just ordered. I had a stand. If you remember, I used to stand up doing the Daily Swole. If you watch some of the older ones in the next room until I moved over here and made this the office, I was standing because I raised this desk that I had, this corner desk, onto blocks. And I am very proud to announce that I just purchased a standing desk. One of those adjustable standing desks. I just purchased that, and that should be coming in a week or 2. I am so fucking excited. I think I've been mentioning that, like my fucking back, and I've been doing, and that was part of the inspiration for the Swollen 7 because I get up and I'll do like 5 or 10 minutes of mobility and then come back. Like I'm always getting off this ball stretching because I just can't stand sitting. I don't like it. And just when I came in here, because this desk isn't big enough. I have 2 desks and I can't elevate all because I have 3 monitors. It's a hot mess. So I got this like extra large automated desk and I'm so excited, and it should come in like a week or 2. So I can't wait so we're going to be doing standing swallows. I can't wait to fucking stand up again. I'm so amped. I'm so fucking amped. Anyway, but yeah, so that was part of the inspiration. The Swollen 7 in Swolenormous X was the fact that I get up and I do like 5 or 10 minutes of stretching. It's like, well, maybe everyone. I just want to eliminate all your excuses. Like even just doing 5 or 10 minutes a couple times a day, it'll keep you. You need just to make movement. You need to make movement like a staple in your life. You need to make movement a staple in your day. A staple in your day. What type of yoga would be good for someone the first time? Any type of yoga. I mean, you could do an all levels class, Tom. You can do any type of like, most yoga studios will have like a level 1 or like an all levels vinyasa or beginner class. Yin yoga is great because it's passive, it's gravity, and it's appropriate for all levels. As long as you're not doing a level 2 or an advanced yoga class, any of them. Yin is fantastic. Yin is fantastic. One of the biggest things that you should know going into yoga is that there is no good or bad in yoga. There's no good or bad. There's no such thing as I'm bad at yoga. So anyone that goes and thinks they're not, there's no such thing as good or bad at yoga. There's just what you can do on that day, and it's a practice. It's like, well, I guess it's different than like practicing the piano where it's like, hey, you can definitely be bad at the piano. I think we can agree on that. But yoga is different. Yoga is moving your body the way that it's meant to be. And not everyone's going to be able to contort and do all those things no matter how much you practice yoga. But it's the mental and the physical aspect. How many times a week do you go training? How long each training? Not the right questions. It depends for you. How many times a week? I do something every day. I never take any days off. Either I'm doing mobility or yoga or I'm going to the gym. So the length of my training, that's irrelevant because it depends on your experience, your volume, what your goals are, and how many days a week depends on your programming, your availability, your schedule. That's another thing. You can't follow anyone else's protocol. You have to find a schedule that you could be the most consistent with that fits your goals. Let's see. Sherry, oh, check this out. We have 2 nutritionists at my hospital. One is literally anorexic and the other is obese. How the fuck can anyone take those people seriously about nutrition? By the way, tried yin yoga the other day. That's fucked up. That's absolutely fucked up. And it's true. Fat doctors. Don't take advice. Don't take health advice from someone fatter than you. Theodore, what Vibrams should I buy? They make high tops and lows. Which is better? They make high top Vibrams? You mean like the shoes, like the casual shoes? You have to look at the descriptions because some of them are meant for indoor. Some of them are meant for hiking and trail running. They'll be thicker soles. The ones that are more cross training or indoor will be more flexible, but they'll be thinner. So if you took those outside on dirt and shit, they might get ground up and worn down and rip easier because they're not meant for outdoors. I wear the classics. Those are the initial slippers. And, you know, I wear them because they're the most minimal ones they make. I barely feel like I feel like I'm not wearing anything. And yeah, they look like ballerina shoes. I just don't give a fuck. I would be barefoot if I could. You know, I'm barefoot right now. I never wear any footwear. I can't wear shoes anymore. I feel awkward. I clump around and my knees and everything just starts feeling fucking awkward if I wear any kind of shoes, even minimalist shoes. I don't like them. Yeah, the KSOs are like the KSOs are like the classics, just with that strap. To the KSO, the letters KSO means keep stuff out. That's why that's the acronym for them, unless they changed it. But that's what they originally did. It keeps stuff out because the classics, you know, things can get in. If you go to the beach or sand, yeah, shit will get in. How long have I been working out? For almost 20 years, 18 years. What's your height and weight? I think I'm like 5'10", 5'11". My weight, I'm not sure. Probably 190s. I don't weigh myself. Best pre-workout without the heart attack? Coffee. Grounding is good for the soul. Yeah. And grounding, just walking around, walking in grass. The only problem is most of the grass and shit is covered in pesticides. So you got that going for it. I don't know. What do you guys think? Is fucking your own clone gay? That's a good question. I think it would be. Technically, right? If your clone is a man and you're a man, I guess it would be. Interesting. It's an interesting You know what's interesting? I guess more than that is that we're getting into the territory with technology that eventually that might be a concern. If you watch Altered Carbon on Netflix, it might be a concern someday. It's like the only show I've watched in the last 2 years. It's so fucking good, though. I'm aware of the shoes. Cool. Are your shoes okay for flat feet, or should people with flat feet get better support? People with flat feet should be strengthening their fucking feet. If you have flat feet, you got to be strengthening your arch. You need to be doing yoga. You need to be doing specific exercise for your feet to strengthen your arches. So if you go from shoes and you have flat feet, one of the reasons why you have flat feet is in part because you continuously weaken them by wearing shoes. And using orthotics doesn't strengthen your feet. It just artificially curves your foot in a certain way that should be curving itself, but your muscles are continuously just getting weaker. And think of shoes as like a foot coffin. You're literally compressing your feet, compressing your toes, elevating your heels, and locking your shit in position. It's like when they used to bind feet in ancient China. It's actually not that long ago, but it's like foot binding, only it's not that severe. But we put shoes on children, on babies. If I have kids someday, never wearing fucking shoes. They're wearing Vibrams or barefoot. Something minimal. Never wearing fucking sneakers and shit. Until they're old enough, they can make their own decisions, but they're going to be barefoot so long, they're probably not going to want to. Yo, Papa Swole, you got a specific meal plan? No, we just talked about the elimination diet, but inside Swolenormous X, I have the entire Nutrition Jumpstart series that helps walk you through the elimination and how to figure out the optimal nutrition for you. I also have all my recipes there too, and we talk about it here all the time. I have many episodes here on the podcast about inflammation, but there's also an article on the Gain Train blog. If you go to swolenormousx.com, there's 1 or 2 articles about inflammation and the elimination diet and stuff, and there's going to be more, so you can go check that out too. I don't recommend specific diets because everyone's different and it's lifestyle and goals. But, you know, generally like an ancestral diet, like a paleo style diet is good for most people because that's where we came from. But like I said, there's a lot of stuff with genetics and things that we're figuring out that predispose some people for metabolizing fats better and some people not. So like I said, science is really breaking through a lot of shit now. We're starting to really get into a lot of good stuff. So the next 10 to 20 years is going to be fascinating for what they determine for a lot of these things that were only just concepts or maybe, oh, I wonder, we just don't have the technology or the funding, right? But as technology gets better, it costs less to fund some of these studies because the tech is better and you're able to isolate. 30 years ago, you would need so much more money to even get access to some of the technology that maybe could test that. And no one really cared because the food industry was just the most powerful thing. But now with the internet and information, it's getting out that, yeah, we've been getting fucked over our entire lives and lied to, and people are pissed off. So now there's people that are coming out because if you buy better food, you make better choices. Guess what's going to happen? Why do you think, and I'll end on this, why do you think in the store you see much more like organic and no chemical cleaners? Right? You start seeing those areas pop up. Why do you think you start seeing all these different alternatives? Why do you think all of a sudden your supermarket, most of you, anywhere you go, you'll see grass-fed or 100% grass-fed. Why do you think you see more of those things? It's because people want to buy them. If you want to buy those things, and if companies realize there's a market and people want to buy these types of things, better products, better foods, better sources, X, Y, and Z for cleaners, for everything, they're going to make them. Or someone's going to start a company that does make them. And then you're going to see more of them. And it's going to get more popular and people are going to get better. So it's a matter of what people want. And with the internet and all this information, we're learning, oh shit, we want this. And there isn't anything. And then guess what? You got a couple entrepreneurs that see, hey, people want this and no one's making it. I'll make it. And then they start a business and then you see more of it. And someone else says, well, there's a lot of market share. I want to do that too, but I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to call mine this. I'm going to make it like that with a powder instead of a liquid. I'm going to do this with that instead of this. And oh, someone's doing beef and chicken. I'm going to do this with turkey and pork, whatever. Okay. So that's what, it's just economy. It's just consumer. Like when there's demand, people will make that shit. You know why? Because they make money and then we get better products. That's why you can see stuff. That's why pans. I just ordered some new pans that are green eco pans. I'm not buying all this nice fancy quote unquote, like real quality food. And then I'm going to cook it with like Teflon and fucking garbage and heat and destroy the quality of the food by sucking down the chemicals and the anti-stick shit that's in the pans. All this stuff matters. When I cook my food, if I want to store it, I put in glass containers. I'm not going to put hot shit in fucking plastic and have all that garbage leach into my food. So if you're eating quality food, but then you're putting it in shitty containers or you're cooking it in shitty, cookware and bakeware, what do you think you're eating? You're using aluminum foil and all these things that are just, they're getting into your food. And it kills you slowly, not instantaneously. You don't notice it, and you might not be able to point your finger straight to like aluminum foil, for example, in 60 years. Oh, it's aluminum foil. But cooking on that every week for 60 years might lead to cancer, and you can't point your finger, it was that. But why are 80 to 85% or so cancers why are 80 to 85% cancers environmental, which means you're not genetically predisposed? Leukemia when you're a kid and all those cancers when you're born, that's fucking tragic, right? But that's when you're born. They didn't choose that. However, if you make bad choices, you're smoking, you're doing all this stuff your entire life, what you expose yourself into the environment is going to lead to some of these diseases, whether you get heart disease, whether you have cancer, whether you have diabetes. So your environmental factors, your stress, your health, your hydration, your sleep patterns, blue light, there's so many things that are not natural for humans, and they all make a difference and they all play a role. And I'm not trying to overwhelm you, but you have to start somewhere. So just start. You have to just start. Okay, start with what you're eating. Let's go back to the main root of this episode. Start with what you're eating. Start eliminating these foods. Just make steps. Don't think and overthink, oh my God, what am I going to, I have this in the house, what am I going to do there? Just start cutting things out. Right now, you're more aware. You've been enlightened a little bit. Okay, I'm aware of what I'm doing now. Holy shit. And you're going to start noticing as you feel better and as you cut things out, you're going to start being more aware of what's in the food, where it comes from. You're going to start looking at more packages and you're going to start being more aware and you'll start getting more and more into it. You'll start making more and more changes because when you start feeling better and looking better and losing weight and building muscle and having a better life, you're going to want to take it to the next level because, wow, I feel so much better just by eliminating wheat. What happens if I eliminate wheat and dairy? Let me cut that out. What happens if I eliminate soy? Oh my God. What happens when I eliminate this antibiotic pump chicken? Wow. You're like, why not? Just get rid of more shit that makes you feel better, perform better, look better, have a better life. It's just everything points to yes. And fuck the macros bullshit, all these things, measuring calories. No, focus on what you're eating. Number fucking one. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me for episode 972 of the Most Muscular Swolecast, Beardcast, Broadcast, Gamecast, Mancast, Pimpcast, Sleevescast, and Slaycast. In the realm, because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. I will see everyone tomorrow for 973. Remember, you still got some amazing New Year's special offers for Swolenormous X. All you got to do is go to swolenormousx.com. You can check out the blog. You can subscribe to the podcast. You can check out the special offers. Just click on memberships. You can check it all out there, swolenormousx.com. And definitely follow me. New YouTube video today, new posts on Instagram, on Facebook. All that shit, just plug in, do something today. Don't wait. Don't put it off. And I'll see everyone tomorrow for 973. Peace, McGee's fam. Deuce Magoose, your boy, Papa Swolio. Oh.